Well, this is an interesting topic. If there's one thing that makes video games infinitely more fun, it's the weapons they offer. There are a lot of stuff I could choose from, being generic or completely out there. No, seriously, there are some downright weird weapons in gaming. That being said, this should be my most unique list of all, but that makes it all the more interesting. We all know what weapons are, objects that help you battle your enemies. Remember that these are weapons and not power-ups, so you don't lose these by getting hit. That'll have its own list another day. But enough with the intro, it's time for my top 10 favorite weapons in gaming. Let's blow this popsicle stand! The Legend of Zelda has many weapons, but we all think of the Master Sword first. And I mean, why not? It's the original weapon of the series and in pretty much every single game. They're normally locked away in some super secret place, and only a true hero can wield them. All 16 of them. The Master Sword has great strength, usually being the key to defeating the King of Darkness, and it also looks pretty dang cool. So why at the bottom of the list? Well, it's become generic over time, and it doesn't really stick out as much anymore. But it's still a great weapon, and would be a great choice to use in battle. The Master Sword, regardless of how cliche it's become, is still a great weapon. I know a lot of people prefer the Giant Sword, but I never got it in the game. I'm gonna go cry now. Yes! I can finally talk about this fantastic game! Oh wait, it's just a weapons list. Tag nabbit! There aren't that many weapons that stuck out to me in Chrono Trigger. Don't get me wrong, some of these weapons are awesome, but just not that many. But the Masamune was an exception. An ancient sword forged by two guardians, Masa and Mune. The boss fight to actually get this sword is a fan favorite, and one of my favorites too. Even after fighting that monster, you'll have to reforge it with some of the rarest material in history. Haha, a time pun. Then you'll finally get the weapon, and it's no children's toy. It's strong as crap. It cut a freaking mountain in half. If you don't think that's cool, you have your own opinion, but come on! It's so powerful, and it's not even at its strongest. It gets even stronger near the end of the game, and it's even better. Aw, dang it, spoilers. Or is it? Does anyone care about this stuff? Spoiler alert? Well, too late. Regardless, the sword is a true sign of a hero, brings Frog's character full circle, and is a powerful sword at that, and I love equipping it to him in the final battle. That is, if I use him, of course. Super Smash Bros. Tired of me bringing up this series yet? You are? Oh, well, sorry. There are a ton of weapons to choose from, so which one's my favorite? The Home Run Bat by far. Everyone loves this thing. This thing has a ton of knockback and is extremely strong, but when you charge it up and it connects with someone, they go flying off the screen. It's an instant kill, unless they get bounced off by a wall or something, but come on! It looks so cool and it's so satisfying to send your enemies into a home run. Who doesn't want to do that? Seriously! I don't even need to say anything else, just watch and take yourself back to all those times you sent your friends and enemies flying. So satisfying. Spoiler alert for my top 10 favorite Kirby copy abilities, the yo-yo is my favorite. The long range attacks, the crazy strength, and all the ways you can attack, it's all fantastic. The yo-yo has some of the best stats, and it just makes me cry that it wasn't in Return to Dreamland. Why not? Whatever. Even the helper is faster than the others, making it more useful. Yo-yo is always my ability of choice, and I'm sure many other people feel the same way. But I already explained my love for this in depth in my top 10 favorite Kirby copy abilities well enough, and I don't want to sound like a broken record. So if you want more input, watch that video. Bottom line, it may be a bit overpowered, but I love it so much. And even if it wasn't in Return to Dreamland, it could still be in Triple Deluxe, right? Right? Why Nintendo? Mega Man. I really should talk about you more. While there are tons of boss weapons I can choose from, I want to save my favorite for another countdown. But that's okay, I prefer Zero's Z-Saber anyways. Look, Mega Man is awesome. His Mega Buster is good for distance, and each boss weapon has its perks. But I don't know, I always preferred melee weapons and fighting fast and up close. Zero's gameplay was always so much more fun to me. They were part of the reason his games were so dang fun and why X4 is freaking awesome. But this weapon can do a lot. slice and dice enemies, do a flaming uppercut, crash down on ice, become lightning, turn purple, stop time itself, and much more. It has a lot of variety for a sword, can do a lot, and is the main reason Zero is one of the Maverick Hunter's best hunters. The sword is very powerful and so dang fun to play with. Heck yeah! Alright, it's time for a Keyblade on the list. You knew one would show up eventually, but which one is it? Everyone has their favorites, and mine is the Unbound from Kingdom Hearts 3D. The game literally says Keyblade perfection. It has a crap ton of strength, even surpassing the Ultima weapon. Even though it has less magic points than the Ultima, its strength is just unpassable. Plus, mowing down an enemy's health is just the most satisfying thing in the world. Seriously, look how fast these enemies are dying. It's absolutely insane. But I love it. Kingdom Hearts 3D was hard, which isn't a bad thing at all, but this was a great award for doing those extra bosses that nearly killed me. Seriously, screw those guys. I loved its unique design, and the gears that pop up every time you hit a Dream Eater is just the icing on the cake. It's a badass Keyblade that I'll never give up anytime soon. Not even for the Ultima weapon. Right, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Duke was one of the more interesting characters in Tales of Vesperia. When I first saw him in the Koi Woods, my eyes were drawn to one thing: his sword. In my mind, I said, holy crap, I want it! The crazy awesome design is something to behold, and that's saying a lot with this game's weapon designs. The sword also has the ability to control the world's air, not with an eye, with an E, it's weird I know, which is pretty much energy that lets everything live and function. The sword also has insane power. It can cut through the very fabric of the world itself. Bad as a hog! Plus, its overall strength is something to behold. Spoiler alert for later on in the game, you actually get to wield the blade, and its strength is way higher than it should be. You also learn your special from it and tons of awesome skills. Your sword's strength is unmatched, and it's a lot stronger than you think it is. But I can't tell you everything because more people need to play this game. Seriously, the Tales of series is awesome. It even says that it changes appearances based on the wielding of the sword. I wonder what it looked like if I had it. Probably Rosalina or something. There were tons of other weapons that could have made the list, and this could have easily been replaced by the other weapons in the series, but I just couldn't do it. It's freaking Dave Novos. Like, can you not? I'm sorry, I'll never do that again. Thought a baseball bat and a yo-yo were weird? Well, how about this? And the world ends with you. There are a ton of stuff I can choose from. Neko fights with pins, Beat fights with his skateboard, Shiki uses her stuffed animal, which was almost on the list, but then I realized that Joshua fights with his freaking cell phone. That's right, a cell phone is a weapon in a video game. Huh. Joshua wields a cell phone in the heat of battle, and it's the most interesting weapon in the entire game. When you first get him as he types on his phone, cars, signs, and traffic cones will fall on the enemies? Okay. Later on, when he gets the ability to let him fly, he uses his phone to send down beams of light and angels crushing them with giant spears. Okay, I'd be lying if I said that wasn't awesome. Then he can take a picture of them to stun them. Oh, with the flash on. Yeah, that makes perfect sense now. And this can also help out with Sherlock Holmes. You can take pictures of a location, change the date on your phone, and then see what happened at that time in that certain location. You actually use that for a mystery mission in the game. It's pretty cool. So not only is this phone special, interesting, but it also adds extra stuff to make it even better. No iPhone can do that. So how do you defeat the king of the underworld with a giant freaking robot? In Kid Icarus Uprising, you start off with the 3 sacred treasures, and they could have honestly made the list. But when that's not enough to defeat Hades, you need something bigger, something better, something that can replace the awesomeness that were the 3 sacred treasures. Seriously, they were awesome, and I want an apology for destroying them, Nintendo. Apology accepted. The 8 sacred treasure can be put to justice in 2 words: epic and awesome. Yeah, like, you don't hear those words enough already on this channel. This thing is super powerful. It can shoot millions of cannons, lasers, explosives. It's fast and has a ton of defense. Plus, if you somehow defeat it, it can transform into different forms. One for speed, one for offensive combat, just a ton of different forms that make this the key to stopping the war with the underworld. This thing made the finale of Kid Icarus Uprising so epic, and I love it so much because of that. So what could possibly beat a super fighting robot? How about another super fighting robot? See what I did there? Because Mega Man, super fighting robot? Let's just finish this. Many of you know by now that I'm a huge fan of Xenoblade Chronicles. And that's pretty much all I need to say for you to know what my favorite weapon is. The one and only Monado. This thing is freaking amazing. First off, that design. The red color with the symbol and the circle in Japanese, and the actual cutting part being made of a blue beam of light. Nintendo, you know what's up. This sword is the only thing that can defeat the Mechon, well, at the beginning of the game, and its strength is unbeatable. Plus, it gives Shulk a whole new set of arts to use, and they're pretty awesome. But the main thing this weapon is known for, and also one of the selling factors of Xenoblade Chronicles, is the fact that this weapon allows you to see into the future. Whenever someone is in harm, and most of the time it's fatal, the Monado shows you what will happen, giving you a chance to change the future and react in time. The feature not only helps drive the story, but it adds an important role to the battle system, letting you know if one of your teammates are about to die. This is downright awesome! The power of seeing into the future is something anyone wants, and it really drives one of the game's many messages, but I'll leave you to play the game and experience that for yourself. The sword also has many variations, but that's all I'll spill about the weapon because the sword also has a lot of crazy secrets that I can't bring myself to spoil. This sword is a fantastic weapon that gives the story a lot more meaning, and it will probably always be my favorite weapon in gaming. And that'll have to do it this time for my top 10 favorite weapons in gaming. I hope you guys enjoyed. There were a lot of choices to be made, so your list will most likely be different than mine. I'd love to see what your opinions are. But anyways, if you like this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more top 10s and 5s. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and stay awesome!